Hello. Today we're going to be talking about Family Fun Week for teachers who are getting ready to plan to introduce them into their classrooms virtually. And so my name is Allison Miller, and I work with the National Center for Families Learning, and we partner with JCPS to bring you support in the early childhood classroom. So today we're going to talk about Family Fun Week, and this guide is intended to give you just a very quick and informative kind of overview of how to plan for Family Fun Week in your virtual classrooms. So Family Fun Week is going to be a virtual week that you introduce to your students and their families, and it's going to be on a Google Classroom. And so Family Fun Week is going to differ each time. There'll be some in December, you'll see some in February, and it will just kind of depend on what the landscape looks like for our school systems as we get ready to go back to both in-person and maybe hybrid learning. So I am going to just kind of go through today how Family Fun Week works and what the engaging activities and the kindergarten readiness skills are. So as you get ready to think about Family Fun Week and introducing it into your classroom, remember that Family Fun Week is going to be a week-long event for your families that is engaging and that is also kind of family-paced. And so families don't have to do every activity all in one sitting. They don't have to do it at a particular time of day. They just get to explore the Google Classroom, and they will get to do this at a pace that works for them. And so each time that there's a Family Fun Week planned, there will be a number of engaging activities. And all of these activities are going to be interactive in a sense that families won't have to sit in front of a computer to do them, but they're also going to hone in on those kindergarten readiness skills that families want to be working on in order to get their kids prepared for kindergarten. So there will be things like reading, they'll be working on name recognition and letter recognition, writing, naming body parts, getting up and moving and having balance, and all sorts of fun things like that. So as you're remembering the Google Classroom for Family Fun Week, there's a couple of things that you as the teacher will need to remember. You will notice that the classroom landscape is going to change a little bit every single time, but it will ultimately be interactive. And so before you even introduce the families to the Google Classroom for Family Fun Week, you yourself as the teacher should get really familiar with each activity and with the landscape so that you can help families troubleshoot if they have any questions about how to navigate this Google Classroom. And so, as I said before, it will be interactive. There will be lots of things that you can click on. There will be things that you can manipulate to make sounds and to do activities together. But remember, as you're introducing this to your families, remind your families that this is something that they can work at their own pace. They don't have to do this at a particular time, or they don't have to do it at a particular amount of time, meaning they don't have to go through and do all of the activities in one day. Maybe if their work schedules are such that they only have time in the evenings, that's totally fine. And so the other thing that you want to remind families of is as they're doing these activities at their own pace, they are also at their own pace. They are also hands-on activities. And so this means that they don't have to sit in front of the screen the entire time. And that is so important right now for our virtual learners because we know that the fatigue in front of a screen can be really, really daunting. So remind families that this is going to get them up and get them moving and get them excited. And so then as you're navigating this classroom and you're learning about it yourself as the teacher, kind of plan out how you would introduce this classroom during your virtual meetings. Think about which activities you would want to showcase during a virtual meeting to remind families about Family Fun Week. And then think about how you're going to introduce that to families, because we know that some activities will be a little bit more exciting than others at first, and some might be a new experience for families. So think about what days of each week you're going to introduce the activities. This is an example of what that Google Classroom is going to look like. And this is actually a picture of what our December classroom looked like in 2020. And you can see that there are a number of different activities on the bookshelf to the left. And so if I were the classroom teacher and I were getting ready to plan my Family Fun Week, I would go through and I would check out each one of these activities and take some notes on what might be more engaging than others to kind of draw the families in. And then I would determine which one I would present on different days, because we know with family schedules, that sometimes they might not be able to do an activity the night before. And so showcasing it in your virtual classroom the next day gives the students an opportunity to participate that might not have had the time to the following or the previous evening. And it gets them exciting for that following evening to be able to kind of explore and interact. So we'll go to this next slide. I want to talk to you guys about getting started. So as you're getting ready to plan for your Family Fun Week, the first thing you're going to want to do is to know the week that it's happening. And so those dates are going to vary just depending on the district needs and depending on when we go back to in-person versus virtual. So this is for the virtual Family Fun Week. So the first thing you'll want to do when you're planning is just to determine what week it's actually happening. And then you're going to want to work backwards from that. You're going to want to plan how you're going to promote that Family Fun Week. So think about the 2 weeks leading up to Family Fun Week. What will you do in your virtual meetings to promote when Family Fun Week is, what the activities are going to be about, and then review the one-page instructions that NCFL and JCPS are providing for you in your Google Drive. That will really give you a better sense of what you need to be doing individually to get ready for Family Fun Week. So as you're introducing Family Fun Week to families, there's a couple of things you'll want to consider. The first thing that you'll want to do is to consider how are you going to introduce this to the families to Family Fun Week. So you'll want to really think through how to get that excitement up. Are you going to have kind of a sneak peek day? Are you going to send out reminders? Are you going to demo one of the activities as, hey, here's something that we get to do next week? Think about how you're going to draw those families in to really get them excited, because we know that right now it is so hard to manage all of the different virtual meetings. We really want them to have a very positive experience with Family Fun Week. And share the kindergarten readiness skills that families are going to be learning throughout that week. So this is a good time for you to kind of go back and look at that Ready for K information and just really get an idea of, hey, parents, are you wanting to get ready to go to kindergarten and help your children learn how to write their name? Check out this activity this week for Family Fun Week. Or are you wanting your children to learn a little bit more about being independent and being able to put their own clothes on and do their buttons and their zippers? Let's check out this activity today. And so really think about how you can be intentional about sharing those kindergarten readiness skills with families. So that way they know, oh, okay, yeah, this is something that we can get excited about. Remind the parents that the activities are at their family's pace. And all caregivers, not just parents. This is really important, again, because we know so many families are balancing different work schedules, multiple children and multiple Google Meets and all sorts of virtual learning. Remind them that this really is not something that they need to check off the box that they've done. It's supposed to be a time for their family to come together, to work at their own pace and to really enjoy what they're doing. And introduce the families to those interactive slides during your virtual meets that week, just so those families can get comfortable, because we know with the technology piece, some families might not necessarily know how to interact with the Google Classroom. Show them and get them excited to do that. So then later on that day or that evening, they might be willing to go back as a family and check out those activities. And this will all lead you to a successful event. So as you're building excitement for Family Fun Week, we do have a couple of different things that we recommend. The first one will be the Family Fun Week flyer. You will get a different flyer for each week with the dates and the information all in one place. So remember to be sending that out and to share that multiple times with families so that they can get excited. And then during your live meetings, again, think back to that Google Classroom that you explored, think back to the different activities and think about which ones are you going to kind of give a sneak peek to get families excited. And then the last thing that you're going to really want to start to plan is some sort of a celebration. And a celebration of Family Fun Week is the end of the week. And it's really just a sense of, hey, everybody, if you did any of these activities and connected with your children, we want to celebrate with you. And so it could be something as silly as on Thursday or Friday at the end of Family Fun Week, we're all going to wear a silly hat, or we're going to dress up in our pajamas, or Miss Allison is going to show you pictures of her dog or bring her cat in for you to see. But think about different ways to get families excited and engaged, but just in simple ways that they can kind of have fun doing things together and being silly. So as you're celebrating Family Fun Week, what you want to do is plan that event. So plan your celebration. And again, it could be something as simple as we're going to have our pajama day, or we're going to have our funny sock day. And what you want to do is then encourage families as they're doing different activities to share photos with you. So if families are doing an activity where they're up and they're moving with their children, encourage them to take a picture and send it to you. So that way you can share it in your virtual classroom and be able to say, oh, look at what Susie's family was doing this week. Did you know that you could do this too? Or send me a picture later on, so that way we can make a collage of all of our friends who are having fun together this week. And that will get families really connected with one another as well. Encourage attendance when you're planning this celebration week. Tell families, again, this is family pace, and attendance just means that you're going in and you're interacting with any of those activities. They don't have to do them all. They don't have to do them in order, but just any type of engagement that they can have is going to mean that they're attending and that they're doing a wonderful job. And then finally, as you're celebrating the Family Fun Week, have fun. If the students and their families see you having fun and being silly about this and just really enjoying the activities, they're going to be more likely to participate as well. I wanted to walk you through just a quick example of what you might plan for your Family Fun Week. So this would be if your Family Fun Week was April 1st through April 5th. You would be talking about it the 2 weeks leading up to that in March. And then this would be what your actual Family Fun Week might look like. On Monday, you would share the Family Fun Week slides with your class in your virtual meeting. You would walk them through the Google Classroom and what it looks like and how one activity might be really exciting for you as the teacher. Encourage families that night to go home and to do it at their own pace. On Tuesday, have a check-in with those families. Have them share what they enjoyed during that virtual meeting, and encourage the families that maybe didn't have the ability or the chance to do that the evening before or the morning of to try a different activity that night. And again, that's another good time to show a different activity as kind of a sneak peek of, hey, you didn't get time to do this last night and that's okay. I just wanted to show you this activity where we're reading this book this week. On Wednesday, you'll do the same thing. You'll check in with those families, encourage them to share their experiences if they were able to do an activity, either verbally or with pictures, and then encourage families that might not have had the chance to do it the evening before or the morning of. Again, showing them different things that they can do. And then finally on Thursday, on your final day or Friday, you can check in again, have families share, but this is the day that you're going to celebrate. And so whatever you've decided to do as your class as a celebration, this final day, whether it's Thursday or Friday, would be the day that you all would celebrate. So as we get into the conclusion of this whole little video, I want you to remember that the goal of the Family Fun Week planning as a teacher is first to plan. Plan. Think about those 2 weeks before Family Fun Week and what you want to do to start getting people excited and introducing them and reminding them about the days and the times. And then encourage those families to share with you and to share with each other. And again, they can do that verbally during your virtual meets and your live meetings, or they can send you pictures that you share out with the class. And then check in with families. If you see a family that hasn't had an opportunity to get into the classroom, or if they told you a couple of days in a row that they haven't had a chance to, just reach out and check in with that family and ask them if there's anything that's keeping them from being able to do that. And then finally, celebrate the families that are, all of them are working with their children to get ready for kindergarten and to have fun and to just take a couple of minutes as a family to do something that is wholesome and exciting and that is getting them ready for kindergarten. If you have any questions about planning your own Family Fun Week, you can reach out to me, amiller@familieslearning.org, and I would be more than happy to help you look at timelines, to help you navigate a Google Classroom, or to help you take a look at what it would look like to introduce these virtual Family Fun Weeks in your virtual meets. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.